Moving forward on the fourth tier of teams that are all big-name teams with big-name question marks. Lakers, Hawks, Bulls, Knicks, and Blazers. Well, you know how I feel about the Lakers. We don't even need to go into it. All I know is the top question is, did they really just run it back with Dennis Schroeder? Like, did this happen? Did he really just get back into the country? His visa issue was a big hurdle for him to be able to play basketball games. Did he really just turn down that much money and then go back to the team that he turned down for the veteran minimum? Did that really happen? That is sad. They're probably looking at him, visa departments, like, hey, you turned down 4 years for $87 million. You're an idiot. You can't come in here. You got to stay in Germany, sir. I'm sorry. You know what's up with the Lakers. They don't have enough shooters. They're old. Bunch of point guard issues. Point guard and Russell Westbrook, who probably doesn't really mesh with the system, and they're actively looking to trade him, even though they're telling the world that they're not looking to trade him because Darvin Ham loves him, but we're not really sure what the truth is, and we're not really sure whether Russell Westbrook can adapt, because he never has. He's never had to. Am I high on them? Absolutely not. You add in Anthony Davis into the mix, who's now going to be taking on the number one role as scorer, and LeBron James actively looking to get his ass into ownership mode. This team is a play-in team at the best case scenario. They might not even make that. Atlanta, big question with them. John Collins, DeJounte Murray. Murray comes over in the trade with the Spurs. How do he and Trae Young work together? Is Trae Young coming off a ball? Is he going to move around like Steph Curry? Because that could be interesting. Trae Young loves to have the ball in his hand. What's going to happen with DeJounte Murray if Trae Young does? What's up with John Collins? Does he want to be there? This is like giving me big DeAndre Ayton / Miles Turner vibes. Like, John Collins has been shopped for 3 years now. People have been saying, I was in my first year at Barstool Sports the first time I ever heard a John Collins trade rumor. That's insane. Like, I am many years out of that. John Collins, does he want to be there? I don't know. Which version of him will we see? Are we going to see the version of him in 2019, 2020 when he averaged like 22 points a game? Or last year when he was like David Blaine? Are they going to be balanced offensively and defensively? Because defensively last year they were a nightmare. I really like my guy DeAndre Hunter, but he doesn't seem to stay healthy. He's the only defensive wing player that they really have. What's going to happen with Kayvon Huerter being gone now? Who's going to be that like last-minute bucket getter, sort of tweener 2-3 guy outside of DeJounte and Trae? Trae Young took a big step last year. He was on a milk carton in the playoffs. He literally was an under machine in terms of his player prop. If he could be used like Steph Curry, I think that makes things interesting. But this is a team that, again, gives me play-in vibes. We move on to my team. Tisk, tisk, tisk. The Portland Trailblazers. Got to be careful what I say here, because a lot of people from Portland still listen to this pod, and they get mad if I say anything too slanderous, because I'm a fan, and they say I'm too much of a fan. The question is defense. This has been a historically bad defensive team for the last 4 years now. I think they had 1 good year and 3 historically bad years. They were 30th in the league, out of 30th in a year that had the worst defensive rating in history. So they were historically the worst defensive team in the league ever. So how does Jeremy Grant and Nasir Little help that? I don't know. Can Josh Hart help the defense and his grittiness and his intensity? These are all very legit questions. I just saw last night they got their doors blown off by Sacramento. And I know that it's the preseason, but that offense, it looks discombobulated. It looks like Scott Brooks is running it. Oh, wait. Checks notes. He is running it. He is maybe one of the worst offensive minds. We kind of give him credit, and I hate to say it because he's a very nice man. We kind of give him too much credit because he had Russell Westbrook in his prime, Kevin Durant, James Harden. Like, who couldn't make that work? Besides Steve Nash. That's the only one who couldn't. I mean, this is just like going to be bad. It feels like Portland has a lot of work to do. This team is a ways away from me. I'm very intrigued, of course, by Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe is a bucket. Shaedon Sharpe can get any shot he wants. Shaedon Sharpe is 6'6" with a 7 feet wingspan. He can block. He can shoot. He can get to the rim. He can steal the ball. He is butter smooth. Like, he could be the guy. He could be the franchise guy. There are people texting me right now saying, we are ready. This is not even the full season yet. Hey, you guys might need to move on from Dame. What? Sir, it's the preseason. But there's hope. Hopefully Dame will be healthy. Hopefully Anthony Simons will still be good. I don't know who he's going to be when he's with Dame. And Jeremy Grant is here. And Nurkic is getting paid. And Clutch got him a nice new contract. So he should be feeling good. He needs to stop being a European bitch. I said it. Sometimes he can be a little too soft. I know, it's so bad. People are already saying Chauncey Billups might need to step down. That's kind of where we're at. I'm not there. I don't believe that. I still hold out hope because this team couldn't even lose games on purpose at points last year. Those young guys were so fun. But this team is not making the play-in tournament to me. They're a 30-win team, unfortunately. I hope to be wrong. Big question in Chicago is, can this team play any defense? They have been one of the worst defensive teams for much of the season outside of Portland. They have to stay healthy. The season's already looking like a dumpster fire. Lonzo Ball, nowhere near playing basketball. Kobe White, who knows what he is. It's a huge loss for a team that lacks depth. I cannot see that this season being better than last season when they made the 6th seed in the playoffs. They will have Pat Williams for the entire year, so that's good. On the other hand, he's currently being benched for Javonte Green. So everything that you thought that he was with the 4th overall pick, we're not actually sure. Keep in mind, this guy actually volunteered for Leonard Hamilton to come off the bench when he was in college. They did win a bunch of games, but that's not exactly the kind of like dog mentality that you think of from an alpha, like number 2, number 3 scorer. He's a nice guy. Maybe a little too nice. DeMar's still going to get buckets, but he's not going to shock anyone. Alex Caruso has to be healthy. He missed a ton of time last year. Are they going to be better than 6th place? No, I don't think so. They had a bunch of time with Lonzo Ball last year, and he balled out. So, no. I think that this is another team that could take a huge step back. Sorry to say. Wow, no one looking better in preseason than the New York Knicks. What? Hardly surprising, though, because this is like Tibbs' Super Bowl. It's like, when everyone else is not trying, I am going to try, and we're going to look amazing. Like, he has him running wind sprints from August, hopefully for his sake, to in his mind, to June. But by December, January, February, like, the wind sprint energy is starting to wane. And questions remain. What will Julius Randle look like this season? Is he the most improved type player that we saw 2 years ago, or is it the same version that we saw of him last year, where he was just clearly wanting to play point guard, but just so inept at that? Just dribble, step back, brick at the end of a shot clock. They had no one to get a bucket, and now they do. Now they got Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson's going to be the initiator now. So how does Julius Randle fit in with that? Is he a guy that you're just going to be able to dump the ball down low to, and he's just going to play bully ball? He likes to play on the perimeter now. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know. And he's always been the best with the ball in his hands. Is he going to be a spot-up shooter on the wing? I'm very curious about this. Obi Toppin, though, looks amazing. Obi Toppin might just take Julius Randle's job now. He was electric. He played off the bench, had 20-something points, had steals, had blocks, had 4 threes, had a tomahawk-looking dunk that made every highlight reel on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok. So that should be something that you should be excited about. Emmanuel quickly looked good. All the young kids look good. Will Tibbs play them? That's the main question. Will he play them? And the biggest question also, too, is what role will Evan Fournier play? They paid a lot of money to him. What is his best role? On the bench or on another team, I think.